What is the plan for Blueroot?
So taking a huge step back, before Crew, before...
Let me go back.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Blueroot is a wonderful restaurant here in Birmingham that Jen opened with the idea, the passion of having healthy food for people, business executives. She's got a wonderful spot down in Pepper Place, which is in downtown Birmingham. Extreme, like epicenter for so many different things. So I'm sorry, go. So what's the plan with Blueroot?
No, thank you. So the plan before Crew came along and before the baby and before the move, all these things, the idea with Blueroot was to open up an operation in downtown Birmingham and support that infrastructure and that community and the broader Birmingham community by serving healthy food. But we were going to grow. And so the idea was, how do we take that? How do we learn and do that first unit really, really well and take it and replicate it in tertiary cities across the Southeast and the Midwest, really where they're flyover zones for really wonderful healthy food, right? New York has it, LA has it, San Francisco, Chicago. I mean, there are other cities that look a lot like Birmingham that are deserving of food options like this. But then you tack on these other things. We launched Crew, a second business. I had a baby, and now there's a move. And all of a sudden, this pro forma that I had written, this trajectory that I really wanted to support and push on, seems near impossible without help. So the long and short of it is, the unit that we have in Pepper Place continues to flourish and stay open. And I have an amazing team. Shout out to Chef Robin Bashinsky, Luis, Leo, Laura. I mean, we're so lucky. But the question is, how do I take that idea of growth and make it a reality? And this is one of those inflection points as I get older. We'll talk about vulnerability. Like, I looked myself in the mirror and realized I needed help. I couldn't do it by myself. And so the question for me was, do I go and share with people over the last few months that I'm leaving and that I am moving and life is taking me in a different direction? Does that put me in a spot of vulnerability and almost weakness? And the answer was, I did it. I went out and I talked to everybody that I knew really well and people that I didn't, and was open to every conversation. And I asked advice. It wasn't asking for anything specific. It was just,
me and you had that conversation. You asked me.
Yes. What do you think? How would you approach this? And so I went to these smart people that are in the industry or not, and just say, help me think through this. And ultimately, out of the woodworks, a bunch of people have now approached me and asked if they can partake, invest in the company. I've had some opportunities to sell the company, things that I wasn't really prepared for. And now there are options on the table. And so once I have options on the table, I can really start to sift through what's the right next step for Blueroot. So the unfortunate answer is that I don't know yet. And the real answer, just being raw and authentic with this group of people, is that's the space I don't play well in. I want to know what's next. And the level of uncertainty that I have with the growth opportunity for Blueroot right now is something that's making me, a little anxious. Because I want to have a plan. But I know that we're in great hands to do what we're doing today, and we're going to keep doing that.
But you feel confident enough to know that you can move to Green Bay, not have to physically be in the building, and it'll run as smooth as possible. That's great.
Which is amazing. And that's why we've kept the operation small. We're lunch only on Saturdays. We have a team of 4. I lean on Crew a lot if we need additional support. And we've just really found our lane. We found, it's like that conversation around product market fit for any entrepreneur. We figured out sort of where we play. But I've really had to ratchet back growth aspirations. And that's what's been hard.
Luke and I were talking about that today, is like, because we're in a position, we're trying to grow, we're trying to thrive. Like, what do we do there? But I can get, hey, I'm fixing to transition, move to a different state. It's going to be hard for us to grow right now. It's hard for, as a competitor, as an athlete, as a go-getter, as someone who wants to do something, to really sit back and go, hey, you know what? It's okay to stay steady for a little bit until we figure out what the next step is. As long as you don't go backwards.
Exactly. And it's putting the nuts and bolts in place. It's having tight operations. It's having, really clear framework for communication with the team. But that's the hardest thing for me, just being honest right now, is I have opportunity to grow, and I've got people saying, let me help you. And the reality is I've had to push pause. I just want to make sure that we're really doing well at that one thing every single day versus adding more to the plate that I can't support in a really meaningful way. And that's a hard thing. But so Blueroot will continue as it stands today. And I hope if there's ever a three-peat on your podcast, I will potentially come back and tell you,
an answer.